Who was this made for? I mean, good God. I don't know where to start. This, oh my God, is this bad? This, wow. The Star Wars Holiday Special is quite possibly one of the worst, not even Star Wars related, not even Star Wars movies, just one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my life. It is so bad. I am shocked that Star Wars did not collapse and die after this. It came out a year after the first Star Wars movie. It came out in 1978. So I'm surprised that Empire Strikes Back actually got off the ground after this. This is, keep in mind, this is the project that George Lucas and the rest of the cast is ashamed of. They are all ashamed of this movie. They whenever it's brought up in an interview, they immediately try to dodge the question, or they immediately dismiss it as being bad. They do not want to talk about this. They are completely, like I said, they are completely ashamed of this movie, and to their credit, they should be. This is the worst thing to ever come out of Star Wars, by far. I mean, I don't care if there's going to be a new Jar Jar Binks related TV series. It's not going to be as bad as this. Alright, so this thing aired in 1978. It's not really a Christmas special, it's just a holiday special. It focuses on a holiday, a Wookiee holiday called Life Day. Now, I don't know what that entails. Just the Wookiees want to celebrate life by dressing in these kind of red, Snuggie-esque robes. And the main plot of the movie revolves around Chewbacca trying to get home to his family while the Empire tries to stop them. It's kind of thin for a 2-hour special, but whatever. It has basically all of the principal cast from the original movie, except for Alec Guinness, who, thank God, did not get dragged into this. But it has Mark Hamill, it has Harrison Ford, it has Carrie Fisher, it has James Earl Jones, it has Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. As far as I know, it has Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca. So, all of these guys, who none of them could be bothered to care one inkling about what they're saying. I mean, all of their performances just feel phoned in. I mean, you really get the sense that the actors don't want to be here. They are here for some kind of contract. They are here because they were in the original Star Wars, and their contract must have entailed some kind of involvement in a spin-off or special in case Star Wars ever took off. Or maybe, I don't know what it was, but none of them give a crap about anything that is going on in this movie. I mean, none of them give the slightest hint of investment. I mean, all of them are just kind of, like I said, they're phoning it in. They are not trying. They are so bad. Harrison Ford, I expect to be bad by this point. I mean, he's a wooden actor. He's a wooden action lead, but he's worse than usual. I mean, he just looks asleep. He just looks asleep throughout the whole thing, and Mark Hamill he's not as bad as Harrison Ford, but he's still seems, he and Carrie Fisher really seem generally uninterested in what they're saying. Peter Mayhew, you can't really tell if he's interested because the suit's doing all the acting for him, except for the body movements, but he doesn't really get a chance to move all that often because he's stuck in the Millennium Falcon chair basically throughout the whole thing. What we get instead, and the Star Wars cast is barely in this. When you advertise that you got the cast of Star Wars leading your holiday special, we expect to see them actually in lead roles. I mean, they're all in supporting roles. What we get instead is a series. It's basically a series of vignettes. It's basically a series of short little segments, almost like SNL if SNL sucked. So we get a series of these kind of short little music videos or short little sketches that are all tied together very loosely and very shoddily with this subplot, with this overarching subplot of Chewbacca's family and their house coming under occupation by this small group of Imperial soldiers, Imperial stormtroopers. So it'll basically what it'll do is it'll show Chewbacca's family interacting. It'll show them interacting with the Imperials, and every so often they'll kind of cut away. They'll kind of focus on this. They'll kind of interact with this piece of technology, like this very very old wrinkled up Wookiee. Goes into this kind of virtual reality simulation where he sees this black woman who looks like she's covered in ice cream, saying dialogue that honestly sounds like a porno. I mean, it's porn. It's Wookiee porn is what it is. I mean, she's stuff like, "Now we could have a good time," and I don't even remember what crap she spouted, but oh my god, it's just. And another one, like the annoying little baby Wookiee will watch this instruction video on how to put together a transmitter, and then later when the Imperials show up, they'll distract one of the Imperials by making him watch this music video. And the thing is, it would be one thing if these shorts were entertaining. None of them are. None of them are good. Probably the closest that one gets to being good is one that's set in a bar on Tatooine, and I'll get to that. But the thing is, I've mentioned that this movie has the cast of Star Wars, but it also has a bunch of guest stars. Not only is the cast of Star Wars fighting for screen time. I shouldn't really say fighting because, again, they're not really invested in this. But mixed in with the cast of Star Wars is Chewie's family, who are all Wookiees. None of them speaks a lick of English. So basically there are long stretches of like 10 minutes, or what feels like 10 minutes, of these Wookiees basically growling at each other. No subtitles, and it makes your ears bleed. It's so annoying. I mean, it's just this group of Wookiees making unintelligible noise at each other. I mean, it's just so grating, and oh god, I mean, it's just 10 minutes of just going. Actually, that sounded more like a walrus, but you get my point. Um, um, Long stretches of that. Imagine listening to that for 10 minutes multiple times in a 2-hour TV special. But in addition to them, we also have special appearances by the likes of Art Carney, Harvey Korman, and B. Arthur. Now let me stress this. I harbor no dislike for any of these people. And first I'll talk about Art Carney. Art Carney is this rebel, like this rebel alliance guy that comes in and visits Chewbacca's family. Is he a mechanic? Who is he? I mean, they probably told me, but I don't know. I can't remember. I blocked large sections of this movie out of my head. But Art Carney comes to the Wookiees, and eventually he ends up getting taken hostage too when a squad of Imperial stormtroopers occupies Chewie's house. So he's there, and he's basically trying to buy them some time until Han and Chewie get there to take care of him. But he's trying. I mean, he's not pulling anything off. He's not pulling it off very well, but he's trying. I mean, I didn't really get too annoyed watching him. I mean, he's trying to pull something off, but the thing is, he's interacting with a bunch of shag carpets. He's interacting with a bunch of whining dogs. So there's only so much he can do. I mean, for a lot of his screen time, he's the only one talking. So what do you expect him to do when he's interacting with these annoying abominations that the movie calls Wookiees? He doesn't do very well, but again, he has nothing to work with. I can let it slide when talking about him, but Harvey Korman has no excuse. Harvey Korman in this movie, in every single scene he is in, Harvey Korman sucks. He flat out sucks. And each scene he sucks more than he did in the last scene. It's really something. I mean, he's in like every sketch. I mean, he's not in the music videos, but he's in like 3/4 of the sketches. And the thing is, Harvey Korman should be really funny. He should be hilarious. Have you seen Blazing Saddles? He was great in that. But here he has nothing to work with. I mean, at most he's just uncomfortable to watch. I mean, his comedic timing is completely gone. He's very loud, very obnoxious, very annoying at some parts. Other times he's just kind of standing there, not really saying anything. Somehow we're supposed to find this entertaining. I don't know. I mean, he plays a robot at one point, who actually instructs the audience step by step how to build a transmitter. They show an instruction video, and we're expected to find it entertaining in a Star Wars movie. But Harvey Korman is terrible in this movie. Every single scene, he just sucks the life out of it. He is that bad. And I hate saying that because I liked him in Blazing Saddles, but the thing is, they don't give him anything funny to do. I mean, he's just kind of there, and whenever he tries to do something funny, it just comes off as awkward, uncomfortable, or just flat out annoying. I mean, he plays this female clown chef thing that shows you how to cook something. So she's kind of whipping the batter, and I guess what we're supposed to find funny is the fact that Harvey Korman, dressed as a woman, keeps going like stir, whip, 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 stir. It's not funny. It's just weird and stupid. What else is he in? He's in that instruction video. He's in the cooking video. I forget all the scenes he was in, but I can remember one more. He was in the bar. He's in the bar. It's the stupidest thing. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie, and he plays this who looks like a hobo. I mean, I don't know what this guy's deal is. He barely says a word, if anything. But the thing is, he drinks by opening up a hole in his head and pouring the liquid into the hole. I mean, Riff Tracks did. I mean, when I was watching the Riff Tracks for this thing, I was really I was really entertained by Mike Nelson's comment because when you're watching something like this, all you can do is listen. When you're watching Riff Tracks for something this bad, you latch on to anything funny you can. But Mike Nelson said something like, "Wow, it's not often you see the stupidest thing you ever seen." Or he said something along those lines, and I was just emitted this sad little this sad little laugh that it's honestly the same type of laugh that I emitted when I was watching movie 43. The only time I gave a semblance of laughter in movie 43, I know I'm getting off topic, but the only time I laughed in that horrible thing that they expect me to believe is a movie is when Dennis Quaid is talking to Greg Kinnear, and he's like, "I blew your security guard to get in here," and Greg Kinnear's like, "I didn't know he was gay." And Dennis Quaid's like, "He's not. He fought me every step of the way." Oh my God. Probably one of the only actors besides Art Carney, because Art Carney is trying. He's not really pulling it off that well, but again, it's what he's working off of. He's not working off of anything of substance, anything of value. But the only actor who actually pulls off a good performance is Bea Arthur. I mean, she plays the bartender in the bar sketch, and this is kind of what I was talking about when this is the closest this special comes to working. I mean, she breaks out into song. The song's not good, but the thing is, she is so serious. She is playing this so straight that you honestly kind of buy it. You honestly get really invested. I mean, I might be retreading some other people's thoughts here, but I got more enjoyment out of this sketch than I did any of the other sketches. I mean, there's kind of a techno rock music video where you can't even see the people singing. I mean, it's too dark. The only lights coming from it are these pink, what almost look like strobe lights. But the bar scene is my favorite sketch. Again, it's not good, but you get to see all the costumes. You get to basically go back to this bar and see some stuff that you might have missed in the original Star Wars. You get to see some of these creature designs again. I mean, yeah, they're recycled, but again, it's nice to see them again. It's nice that they included these aliens, these really weird, creative alien designs in this travesty of a TV special. And again, B. Arthur gives a really serious performance. I mean, she's the only actor in this who actually, her and Art Carney are the only actors in this who actually give a crap about what they are doing. I mean, I don't know if they saw anything in this script that the others didn't, but I don't even know why they signed on for this. Probably because it said Star Wars. But yeah, she and Art Carney are relatively pleasant to watch when compared to a lot of other people in this movie. But the final thing I'm going to talk about in this movie is the cartoon scene. This cartoon is just so grotesque in the way it's animated. It's this very stylized looking animation where a lot of the features of the main stars are exaggerated. Harrison Ford basically has this huge kind of Bruce Campbell-esque chin in the cartoon. His eyes are constantly closed. I mean, he looks like a friggin' alien. Honestly, Luke Skywalker doesn't look that bad in the cartoon, but Leia and Han. Leia has these kind of big bulging eyes. They look like caricatures of their live action counterparts, and this actually leads into one of the only things that people fondly remember about this is the introduction of Boba Fett. And Boba Fett, he looks stupid. He looks stupid riding this big animated cartoon dinosaur thing. And he has this kind of cattle prod taser thing that he uses to save Luke. But the thing is, he has a really cool voice. I mean, he's got this. It's almost like C-3PO if C-3PO was Butch. I mean, this really kind of cold, calculating voice that you would really buy, being both intelligent but also menacing. It kind of achieves that perfect balance. So that Boba Fett's vocal introduction I really liked, which makes me kind of sad that they replaced his few lines of dialogue in the special editions with that of Tamura Morrison, who played Jango Fett in the prequels. But it's nice to hear the original Boba Fett, who still sounds pretty cool. But other than that, this special feels a lot longer than it is. This special feels like 3 hours long, and that's because none of these sketches are entertaining, and the main plot is not entertaining either. I mean, the main plot is basically conveyed through these irritating Wookiees, and it's just nothing is funny, nothing is entertaining, none of the music is good. I mean, for some reason, everything looks to be in like soft focus. I mean, I'm not just saying that because it was made in the 70s and it hasn't really gotten an HD upgrade yet. No, everything looks like it was filmed in soft focus. I mean, nothing. I mean, it's a little unsettling when they use the same. When they actually increased the soft focus to achieve some kind of a ethereal atmosphere for the Wookiee porn scene. But yeah, this special is not good at all. This is, like I said, this is the worst thing to ever come out of Star Wars. There's a reason why it took me this long to actually talk about it, because I really did not want to talk about it. I didn't want to sit through it again. I didn't want to sit through it the first time because I had heard how bad it was. There's a reason that this thing has achieved the infamous reputation that it has. This is by far one of the worst. It's probably, if it's not the worst sci-fi movie I've ever seen, it's one of them. It's definitely in the top 3. It's probably in my top 10 worst movies of all time, or top 20. I don't know, but it's probably one of the main reasons I'm getting pissed over it is because it kind of reminds me of movie 43, which I also saw this year. Movie 43 is which is worse? I can't decide. I can't decide which is worse, this or movie 43. I mean, they are both so terrible. They are both just the poorest excuses for sketch-based entertainment like this. I mean, both of them just have this. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent about movie 43, but this, I'll keep it to the Star Wars thing now. The framing device of Life Day is stupid. The characters are just so out of it. I mean, they all look bored. The actors look completely disinterested. I mean, they were probably dragged into this by contract, because they have openly admitted that the script was not good. The script was not good at all. George Lucas is personally ashamed of this movie. The actors behind this are personally ashamed of it. A lot of people behind this pathetic attempt to cash in on Star Wars, everyone involved, at least that I've heard of, has completely just disowned it and tried their best to eradicate it from their memory. Anthony Daniels said something that actually made me chuckle, and in that you can watch it on YouTube, but you'll die. I mean, watch at your own risk, and I just got a kick out of that because it's true. Chances are, whether or not you're a Star Wars fan, if you watch this, you will get dumber. You will waste 2 hours of your life that you will never get back. And this, I don't even know what else I got. The music's terrible. For some reason, the music, you can barely hear it. I mean, the music is just so inspired. They occasionally use the kind of John Williams themes here or there, but the music is just kind of stock 70s sci-fi. I mean, it's just, and it seems like they edited it, they sound mixed it so it's so far in the background, it sounds like. I mean, it's just, which is probably for the better considering how unimpressive it is, period. But oh my god, I don't even know how long I've been talking about this piece of crap. But it's, oh my god, at least it's over. I mean, no matter what else I talk about in terms of Star Wars, nothing can be worse than that. I refuse to believe that they could have sunk this low a second time. I refuse to believe it. And if there is something worse than this, I am not watching it. I'm not doing it. I mean, this very nearly broke me. I was this close multiple times to turning this off. There were so many points in this movie where I just wanted to push the stop button. It was that bad. It was that horrendous. It was that entertaining. It was that unfulfilling. This horrible creation is a slap in the face to Star Wars fans. It's a slap in the face to anyone with 2 brain cells. Not one of the sketches works. Not one. Like I said, the one with B. Arthur is okay, but that's only because I'm grading on a curve. I mean, I would never watch any of these again. The acting is horrible except for B. Arthur and Art Carney. The comedy is horrible. The cinematography, I don't know what they were trying to do by filming in low angles. I mean, it seems like a lot of the shots were filmed in low angles for no reason. No reason. And the sets would make even the most low budget 60s sci-fi shows blush. It is ridiculous how little effort was put into the sets of this thing, because it's the actual Wookiee house, the outside at least, is a matte painting, and the inside is just the most generic treehouse living room hybrid. I mean, it's all one room. There's green shag carpets. There's this kind of there's this standard human kitchen. The Wookiees wear aprons. The space battles are all stock footage. The garage sets where Luke is kind of fixing his starfighter, that looked like literally it was filmed in some studio executive's garage. His dungy little garage. It's just horrible. It's just a horrible movie. I mean, it's a horrible piece of entertainment that should be eradicated from the face of the earth. I mean, every single copy of this should be destroyed. I mean, no one has to know. That's the attitude of those who worked on this. No one has to know. As long as no one brings it up, we're not going to address it. That's the mindset of the actors who worked on this movie. I don't even know what to say. It's amazing how little effort was put into this in terms of the script, in terms of the acting, in terms of the set design, in terms of the costume design. Like, at the end you see a bunch of Wookiees and they all look the same. They all look the same. I mean, they're not the cool warrior Wookiees from Revenge of the Sith. They all look the same, and they all have these really annoying growls and whines. Good God! You thought Chewie got annoying after a while. Try listening to a chorus of Chewies that never shut up. They never shut up. Don't watch this. People rag on the Star Wars prequels for supposedly killing the franchise. No. This very nearly killed the franchise. Thankfully, it never re-aired. It was never widely released, at least as far as I know of. Thankfully, it did not get nearly the same amount of media attention as the prequels did. It did not get nearly the amount of hype. It did not get nearly the amount of lasting power. Otherwise, Star Wars would be done. Just done. I mean, there would have been no episode 5 and 6. People would have seen this and just said, I don't want to see any more. I don't. It's bad. Don't watch this. Just don't do it. It's